So here is a testimonial for someone who I was giving game during the process of developing the Blerd Pill, and I had this ideology for a while, and I didn't call it the Blerd Pill. It's just me developing my own game through my experiences, through my study of different things like different aspects of what I call sociosexual dynamics. And part of it was studying attachment theory, understanding the different aspects of the ego, studying Jungian psychology and the shadow and the sexual shadow and the process of integration. Other parts of it was just like studying different aspects of the red pill. And just through this process, I've amalgamated a different ideology that I feel like is really going to help, right? It's going to help a lot of people. And this is one person that it helped. This is one person who, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start reading it now. So, Blerd Pill review. So, my experience with the Blerd Pill has been interesting to say the least. See, I was the type of guy that was always in the friend zone. You know, the guy that walks up to women with a corny pickup line in hopes that it will magically get him laid. Yeah, I know it's cringe as hell, but I guess it's a good place to start as the beginning of the story. So the first thing I learned was to take accountability for what I allowed. When you're conditioned like I was to believe women are queens, you naturally do favors. But those favors are exploited weaknesses most women take advantage of. I really didn't know women used my attention to validate themselves. At points, things started to make sense, a lot more sense in regards to my love life. This started making so much sense to the point that I committed myself to learning more. So I went to Brodie Dharma for advice after dealing with a girl who had wavering sexual desire with me. I had been going through it for 4 years. I really needed solutions because I wanted things to work with her. So the first thing I really learned was integrating sexual toxicity. An example would be suggesting things that either challenge or instinctually make women more attracted. I went from saying you like that baby when we had sex to example you're going to come on daddy's dick and you're going to enjoy coming hard, right? Learning how to speak sexual and make suggestions to build her attraction to you is important because after I did that with my girl, she treated me in a more submissive manner. As I took more accountability and guided her through my boundaries and sexual toxicity, I realized I didn't have to be as toxic because she was starting to listen and comply. I took control of the boundaries, then she stopped resisting as much because I was more in my masculine energy. I was no longer following, I was leading the relationship in a healthy way. I was able to have more sexual access, which is huge, but the problem becomes if you can't maintain the masculine energy, she isn't going to fuck with you for long. So I had to learn some sexual techniques from fingering to having knowledge of the vagina and knowing how to angle my strokes in order to get as deep as I can in a female. I learned this to communicate to her without her losing attraction, thinking I'm complaining or bitching. When you stop and think about where you went wrong, you realize females want you to dominate and control. They actually will listen to you more if your energy is right. If females don't listen to you, bro, that's because your energy is off. But that's the point of the Blerd Pill. The point is to teach you how to control and manifest your masculinity in a way that tempts her to uncontrollably lust after you and want to have sex with you because your masculinity is super solid, and it's a great way to fix relationships because a lot of the times the problem is the sex and the mindsets that we men and women aren't understanding. That's why sexual content is so strong because it resets a woman's social programming, and for women it shows how not to only keep their man but really puts them in a position to get married. If you want to have the details, you're going to have to talk to my guy Brodie, because I can't give away those techniques for free. I will say quality of my life has went up dramatically because the orgasms I gave before was like one or two, but after Brodie's advice I've made that girl come at least 6 to 8 times on a regular basis, if not more. The results speak for themselves. The second thing he showed me was that I was blaming her for the most damaging parts of our relationship. Oftentimes, we get upset with females for abusing the power that we gave them. However, there is an accountability that is there that you as a man must acknowledge. It's like if you give your girlfriend your keys and she gets in a wreck, you as a man shouldn't blame her for it. All she gets in a wreck, she was only able to get into a wreck because you initially chose to give her your keys. So to some degree, we share in the blame. I had to stop arguing. I had to start respecting my time and be aware of my own comfortability when it comes to what I was agreeing on. I had to stop being so goofy around her so she could take me more serious and respect my authority. But here's the thing that I had no authority in the relationship because my word wasn't good in her eyes. She didn't view me as masculine enough. But when Brodie showed me how to assert myself from a mindset of I must be respected, that's when she started changing her actions and putting my boundaries in place in a certain way and not rewarding her when she treats me bad. Then she stopped doing those actions over time and learned how to respect me more as a result of it. When I learned about masculine frame, it helped me stop pretending to be interested in what women have to say just so I could get some pussy. The masculine frame is about keeping calm, smooth, cool, and collected. It's also about not following up her shit test. But the most important thing is to be masculine as possible. If you're not in masculine frame, your woman won't be attracted to you because you're showing her feminine energy, and most women want a man to be the best genetics, aka genetics, aka characteristics, and by not presenting yourself the best will make a woman not want to sleep with you. And that sucks, but masculine frame is the way to overcome that. Masculine frame means no matter what she says or does, she won't take you out of your character. Women have shit tests, which really is an ego test. As well, if you have a fragile ego, you'll get offended. But the offense is often purposefully done to test your masculinity. She's trying to determine whether you are an alpha or a beta. I choose to stop being a beta and make better decisions and open up my opportunities to get women. If you're looking of a way, whether you're a female or a male, if you want to learn how to become desired truly, and you're looking for a good way to understand why there's so much problems between men and women, I suggest you fuck with the Blerd Pill. I now pull girls I never did before because now I know I got a playbook on how to handle these traps females purposely put up. I know how to get a girl in my program, and now I understand about social programming to lead the relationship the way I truly want, which is why me and my girl are now happy. The relationship has improved a lot. We don't argue, and I'm having more sex than I had in years. Even girls have been coming on to me now that my masculinity has improved significantly. Do yourself a favor and enter the Blerd Pill. I really want to thank RJ for sending this to me. This is something that's, I appreciate that. This was even before I started doing coaching. I'm doing coaching now, so I need to get some testimonials from some of the people that I coached. But, this is something that I had to learn. I've been in a myriad of different types of relationship styles and situations throughout the years. And I just had to learn to adapt to different situations. I had to learn how to start integrating sex and emotions instead of trying to make a trade of sex for emotions, which will come off as if you're in your feminine frame with a woman. So, in the process of talking to this individual, of helping this man out, and we were having conversations, for hours we would talk, and I would just share my point of view with him. And by sharing my point of view with him, he started seeing different areas where this woman, it wasn't completely her fault the way she was treating him, how she was treating him. A lot of it was things that he allowed. And those things that he allowed, once he took accountability for those things that he allowed, he was able to take a step back and look at it from a different perspective. Once he understood what disrespect was and could see it as that, then he knew how to address those things purposefully. And once he understood that woman not showing him a certain level of sexual desire was not a matter of her not being attracted to him, but it was a matter of, it wasn't a matter of her not caring about him, but that sexual desire isn't about caring about somebody. Sexual desire is more about someone feeling sexual attraction and sexual polarity. So by working on his masculine frame, by working on his sexual skills, and I gave him some techniques and some tricks and some tools of the trade. My neo soul video is one thing that helped to put him on some neo soul music that really helped him in that process of learning to get into his sexual confidence. By going through that process, we were able to and a lot of it is on him. He put that work in himself. I couldn't do it for him. I couldn't do it for him. But when he put that work in and he changed his mindset about the situation, he was able to take a relationship that was pretty much a dead bedroom and then turned a dead bedroom into a situation where he was thriving sexually and thriving in his masculinity where he wasn't before. And just understanding the different parts of those transitions is something that I'm really proud of him for how he went about that process. And there should be some more testimonials coming soon. I don't know exactly when. Wait for those to get back to me. But this is Brodie's Take. This is a testimonial from RJ about entering the Blerd Pill. Thank you.